Hey everybody, it's part 3 of the Harlem Heian Mashup, and today we're going to be following blues singer Bessie Smith, who was by far the most popular of all the early blues singers, and in her very first recording, she sold 800,000 copies. So, pretty amazing. She's the one in the pink outfit here, in the little bathrobe. And we're going to follow her around and see what she does. If you haven't watched the mashup in the earlier episodes, what I've done is take Sims who are modeled on 5 real historical people from 2 different historical eras. And I've given them all the skills they had as young adults and put them in a modern house to see what happens. And the last episode was about Madam C.J. Walker. So this episode, we're going to follow Bessie Smith around. And here we see that Bessie is kidding around with Murasaki. You can tell that because of the kind of pinkish purple coloration that was on over Bessie's head and around Murasaki's little icon in the lower left corner. Now Bessie, as you can see from the little icons around her head, as I've got she has the plumb bob, so of course she's the sim that is being followed. As you can see the icons around her head, she really wants to talk with this girl, Ashley. And that's what I just had her do. I had her call Ashley, and here's Ashley standing around outside, waiting to be let in. And here is, Bessie going in to call Ashley. The Sims can't call out without my help, I don't think. No, wait a minute. No, I decided that I would do the calling for them because they don't seem to be able to spontaneously make calls out. They can accept them and they can play with their little phones, but they can't call out. Anyway, as you'll notice, Bessie was really desperate to speak to Ashley, but although she invited her in, she has not, in fact, talked to her at all. That little bubble over her head just says, chat with Ashley. So Ashley is in the house, she's in the downstairs, and Bessie is playing on the computer now. She's going to go downstairs. But she's not going to hang out with Ashley. Oh, no, that would be too useful towards her self-esteem. Instead, she's going to hang around upstairs. Now, that's Dion coming in. Dion, she has kind of a crush on. She's got, you can tell that by looking under her relationships icon. And she's got almost a third of the way up, of a little romantic episode with him. And here he is in the house. She does come downstairs, but she's not talking to him. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 minutes go by, sim time, before she even deigns to consider going to the room that he's in. See, now, he's having a good time talking with Madam C.J. Walker, and with, not such a good time with, say, Shonigan, but, they're chatting, right? Dorothy West is coming in, Murasaki's coming in, and all Bessie wants to talk about is the frickin' garbage. And she leaves. She doesn't talk to Dion hardly at all. Now, finally, yes, that's right, the Scoofa. She doesn't get around to finally talking to her friends, to her friend Dion, until right about now. And even now that she's actually in the room and part of a discussion with him, you can see that she's not really even looking at him. The main focus of her conversation... That's right. Plivar Navaquel. Even now, she's not really paying any attention. You see, she's talking entirely with Murasaki, and she's letting him spend all of his time with Dorothy West. Now he's just sitting there. And I mention this because she just does not show... If she's got these romantic interests in people, and she shows none of them in her actions. And I just did not get it. I did not get it, but I think soon you guys will understand. But in the meantime, we're going to enjoy their interactions with the house. You'll notice that the kitchen is filthy, and the girls are pretty unhappy about that. And I couldn't understand why they weren't cleaning it, but I found out with the latest patch that there was a glitch that was preventing Sims, in some cases, from actually emptying the garbage. outside that the cans would not accept garbage, so I think that's what's going on with them, because I couldn't put it in the garbage can outside either. Anyway, we see here that Dorothy West is kind of unhappy. One of the things I found was that Dorothy West kept actually wanting to write, and so I don't think that I've actually kept those clips here for you in this, but I did send her to write on the computer. She likes doing that, and she can't autonomously practice writing, which is the first thing she wanted to do, and she can't autonomously write a book. So I had her attempt both of those things, and it didn't really require much encouragement. She would do that for hours and hours. Oh, that's right. Crash. I know, Dorothy, it's such a difficult day. You know, maybe you should have a cooking skill buff too before you try this. But anyway, Dorothy will just sit at that computer and giggle to herself for hours while she practices writing, if I put her on it. So that's kind of enjoyable to watch, at least for short periods of time. And so here the girls are chatting with each other, and you can see that they are still really upset about the dirt. And I thought that they were just being, really difficult. I couldn't understand. They wash the dishes, but they don't pick up the floor. And it's because of this glitch that they just fixed. So I took them to the park. Murasaki wanted to go fishing. She can't do that without going to the park. And she can't actually fish autonomously, I don't think. I know that the townies can, but I don't think that the controlled Sims can, the played Sims. So I brought her to the park, and I brought all the girls with her. And here I'm sending her off to fish, which you can tell that she really likes to do, because she just stands there and fishes for hours without being prompted, even though she's feeling flirty. But of course, the main episode here is about Bessie, who's seeing her buddy Dion come in that she's been wanting to talk to, but does she talk to him? No. She turns her back on him as if she has no interest at all and goes to watch some chess playing. But look at this. She's talking to Dorothy. Dorothy's so entertaining. Did you hear that? Denora Clue. She flirts with Dorothy. And Dion saw it. And I didn't realize this, so does Say Shonigan. You can see she's heartbroken, and I didn't realize until I watched this video again, as I was doing the recording, while I wasn't looking, Say Shonigan was getting a crush on Bessie. And you see Bessie has addressed this heartbreak on the part of both of them by, doing nothing at all. In fact, she's scoping the park out as far as I can tell. Dorothy and this chick I don't know chat with each other. And here comes Dion. He's all sad. He's all unhappy. And she's going to talk with him, apparently, about vacuum cleaners and fine dining. Whereas he, and you can see why she's not as interested as she used to be, decides he wants to talk about squid. And you can see butter wouldn't melt in her mouth. She's so cool and so collected. It's as if nothing happened. She didn't flirt with Dorothy. Oh no, it's a bright and sunny day. Everything's fine. But you can, there's the little pouty Say Shonigan. You can see her icon. I clicked to see how she was doing, because I didn't know why she was unhappy, and then I saw that she had lost a love interest. Which meant the only person who was flirting was Bessie, so it had to be her. I think there's Murasaki going off to fish again. And here is Say. This is something that the Sims like to do. They like to cheer themselves up in the mirror, give themselves pep talks. And so that's what she's doing here. She's very sad. And right next to her, yes, that's Dion. The two rivals for Bessie's heart, not realizing that Dorothy is only incidental competition, or not the only competition. They are both standing in the same room, giving themselves pep talks, trying to recover from their heartbreak. Now, I have to say, I have been disappointed at how little of Bessie's time is spent thinking about music or wanting to play music. But I will tell you that this romantic thing, because Murasaki has also got a crush on her, right? So of the people in her household, two of the five have a crush on her, and so does one of the two people who have come to visit. And actually, in real life, she was apparently a very magnetic personality. Chris Anderson, who wrote her biography, said that she was able to walk off the stage while singing, and she could fix her eye on one man in the audience, and then she would walk backwards, and he would get up out of his seat and follow her up to the stage like he had been mesmerized. And Coco Taylor talked about her that way too. And here we're seeing it in action. She attracts everybody. And it's not perhaps just the fact that The Sims is, casual about gender preferences. Actually, Bessie Smith in real life was bisexual. She married two different men over the course of her life, but she was, she definitely had a number of female lovers too, and that was pretty open. That was it was more okay in the 20s than it was 20 or 30 years later. And look, there the two lovers. See, Sei and Murasaki were getting along so well, but now Murasaki's interested, right? So, see, look, she's feeling flirty again. She's slightly attracted Murasaki's interest. She's been chatting with, and now she's got Murasaki with her. And look, this little icon over her head shows you that Murasaki is also feeling flirty, right? So now she's flirting with Sei Shanigan, Murasaki, and Dorothy West. Right, so 3 of the 5 people of the 5 people in her house. There's only one more person in the house that's not Bessie. Right? See, that's right, girl. You take her stargazing and pretend it's not romantic. You are such a little heartbreaker. Now, although I do love this tunic, although I do love this tunic, I'm afraid I have gotten too tired of it. I'm going to have to change it because of that little problem with the patch in the back. Now, you may notice that Bessie has gotten sick, and so has Murasaki. Murasaki's got that stripes disease the Sims get. So in the next episode, we're going to have to see how they can all cure themselves. But in the meantime, now we know Bessie Smith much better. She is a scoundrel and a heartbreaker. And I want to remind you that this is not accidental on her part, right? Because we saw her carefully refrain from flirting with any of her love interests while any of the others were in the room. This is deliberate playing of the field. I can't explain it. It's not at all random. Anyway, with that thought, I will leave Bessie. Next time, we'll follow her a little bit more, and we'll see how the girls get well, or at least how I hope they get well. We're going to be starting up with the French court again pretty soon, and because my friend, the portrait artist, her arm is better, and I look forward to being able to do that with you. Bye!